It was just one afternoon in April. They didn't wake up that day thinking this would be the last.
This will be a day where there's going to be so many tornado warnings.
It's something like I'd never seen before.
We watched this monster form before our very eyes.
These were killer tornadoes on the ground.
And I thought, it's coming for us. It's coming for us.
Stay sheltered. To get underground. These things were monstrous supercell storms.
He was holding her hand, and she just went up and away from him.
It's going to be one of those days where if people didn't take cover, they were going to die.
Coming over the campus buildings.
In April 2011, over just 4 days, more than 360 tornadoes ravaged the southern United States.
Look at the debris. Look at the debris. And all you can do is pray for those people.
It's the deadliest tornado outbreak for 75 years.
Hey, everything okay? I don't know.
321 people are killed, and thousands are made homeless. Now, eyewitness accounts, survivors' footage, and expert scientific analysis reveal the terrible events of the super tornado outbreak. Just over 50 miles north of Birmingham, Alabama, is the small town of Coleman and its population of 15,000.
I'm Kitty Spears, the owner of the Busy Bee Cafe. I've been in business for myself here since 1989. The Busy Bee Cafe is run by family. All my family members work here. We're Coleman's oldest restaurant, and we're the backbone of this town.
100 miles south of Coleman is Tuscaloosa, home to more than 38,000 students from the University of Alabama.
My name's Tori Sheehan. In 2011, I was a student at the University of Alabama, and I was also an intern at WVUA, the local station in Tuscaloosa. So I lived in the eastern part of Tuscaloosa in Alberta. It was a 2-story apartment complex made up mostly of students, but there were also people who weren't students at the university living there. It was my own little place. I mean, it was like a shoebox, basically, but it was mine, and I loved it.
My name is James Spann. My title is Chief Meteorologist for WBMA TV in Birmingham. Well, I'm an old timer. I've been here a long time. Growing up in rural South Alabama, the storms on a summer afternoon were unbelievably awesome. Where for everybody else, they were a nuisance, but for me, they were fascinating. But we have 2 tornado alleys. One is the traditional tornado alley. This is the southern Great Plain, states like Oklahoma and Kansas. But we have a secondary area in the southeast United States, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, North Louisiana, North Georgia. And that has been dubbed as Dixie Alley.
And it's Dixie Alley, with its denser populations and higher concentration of mobile homes, that has the deadliest tornadoes each year.
We have a lot of our population away from cities that live in manufactured housing. And simply by nature of the beast, air can get under them and go above them, and they can go airborne. For those that live in them, they have to be thinking about this way, way, way before a tornado.
In early April 2011, unusually warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico is moving north, while cold fronts head southeast from the Midwest and Plain states. The two collide, and are churned further by howling winds in the jet stream. It's a turbulent breeding ground for supercells, some of the most dangerous storms on Earth. They're capable of spawning the most violent of tornadoes. With the most powerful tornadoes being up to a mile wide, with spiraling winds of up to 250 miles an hour, alarm bells are ringing in the Deep South.
We don't like to cry wolf, but in the days leading up to April 27th, we started seeing strong thunderstorms that actually developed into supercell thunderstorms. Supercells are long-lived, and statistically, they're the type of storms that produce not just tornadoes, but typically the bigger tornadoes, the more violent tornadoes.
A supercell forms when conflicting winds cause horizontal spin in the lower atmosphere. Warm updrafts then force it vertically to form a mesocyclone, the spinning heart of a supercell. It draws in more warm air, driving the rotation faster. Rapidly descending air at the rear of the storm can then drag the mesocyclone towards the ground. If it touches down, a tornado is born.
Once we got within about 5 days, it became obvious that April 27th could be a problematic type day. We didn't know where tornadoes would touch down, how many tornadoes we were going to have, exactly what state maybe would take the brunt of this, but somebody in the Deep South was going to have a really bad day.
Severe weather a possibility by midweek. Chance of supercell storms Wednesday afternoon.
In the early hours of Wednesday, the 27th of April, the predicted storm system hits James Spann's home state of Alabama.
Walking in here, I knew I had to get my microphone strapped on and get ready to go on television immediately. It was just a sense of urgency and a sense of, I hope we're not in over our heads.
These storms are very serious, so let's kind of reset here. It's 5:40. A lot of you are just waking up now to the sirens going off.
There were terrible thunderstorms that morning, even before the sun was up. And I remember just laying down and hearing, like right when you're about to wake up, but you're still not fully awake, and hearing the thunder.
During the morning hours, 7 states are hit by a massive storm system. 92 tornadoes touch down, stretching from Louisiana all the way north to Ohio.
That morning, April 27th, we were extremely busy because there were storms earlier that morning in the town next to us, and everybody was coming to Coleman because they had no power and everything.
By 9 a.m., the weather system across Mississippi and Alabama completely transforms.
Looks like we might see several hours of sunshine this morning, and that in turn could lead to some really rough weather later today.
When we saw the sun break out, thinking, oh goodness, that's the last thing you want. And that's really going to heat the air up and make the air buoyant and set the stage for some horrible storms later in the day.
This is the time where you go to a safe place now, as low as you can go, underground if you can get there, no mobile homes and no cars. So again,
ignoring the warnings, storm chaser Reed Timmer decides to head in the direction of one of the supercell storms, near the town of Philadelphia in Mississippi.
By afternoon, our target storm developed to the east of Jackson, Mississippi, and right when that storm developed, it assumed textbook supercell characteristics. And our plan was to find an open meadow that was directly in the path of that storm. Suddenly, the forest opened up, had a clear view to the southwest, and then bam!
Oh my God! There's houses up there!
Guys, probably one of the strongest tornadoes I've ever seen.
As the 2011 tornado super outbreak begins to intensify, a massive twister has just touched down in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Oh my God, look at the horizontal vortices on the left side. Horizontal vortices feeding into it.
Directly in its path is storm chaser Reed Timmer.
Look at the left side! Look at the left side!
It was approaching rapidly, and we saw the massive wedge. We knew it was powerful at that point. Very large tornado, very compact supercell structure as well. You could see the whole entire updraft and the rain shaft next to it. Rapid upward motion on the left side, horizontal vortices feeding into it, and you knew that we were dealing with a different monster.
Houses up there! Houses!
I was freaking out trying to let them know that there was a dangerous tornado heading for their location.
Not good, guys!
As it races along the ground, the half-a-mile-wide tornado suddenly becomes even more deadly as it mutates into a multiple vortex tornado made up of smaller vortices.
One of them touched down right near that power pole that dug a trench out of the ground over 2 feet deep. Everything in its path was ripped out of the ground.
Philadelphia's multiple vortex tornado, with rotational winds of up to 205 miles per hour, is given the most powerful rating on the enhanced Fujita scale, EF5.
Oh my God.
It's the first EF5 in the Dixie Alley tornado region for more than a decade.
Go that way. Keep an eye on it.
With tornadoes on average killing 80 people every year in the U.S., atmospheric scientists from the University of Wisconsin are leading the drive to reduce this death toll.
We want to be able to predict the tornado's occurrence ahead of time. We want to be able to tell the public long before one of these tornadoes occurs that it's going to occur and where it's going to occur. In this simulation, we have a storm that produces a multiple vortex tornado. Boom, there's your tornado. And it starts out as like a needle-thin, narrow thing, maybe 100 meters across. Very strong winds right off the top, but you'll notice as time goes on, it gets wider. Eventually, this thing gets wrapped in rain, but as it gets widened, you start to see embedded within this tornado are what you might think of as mini tornadoes. They're called suction vortices. And the multiple vortices are all kind of rotating about the center of a tornado. They each contain a center of low pressure and winds spiraling around them. So you have a combination of horizontal winds that are able to be so strong that you can just lift the top of a piece of pavement off and it's going to be pulled away, peeled away. Then you have a suction vortex that comes in and literally draws mass upwards from the ground because the updraft is so strong.
By 2 p.m., the sky's full of potentially deadly supercells raging across Dixie Alley and beyond.
This is probably the most serious event, quite frankly, going back maybe over the 32 years I've been here. There are multiple storms. All of these are life-threatening.
It was going to be one of those days where if people didn't take cover, they were going to die.
With lives at stake, Matt Lobhahn is in just his 3rd week of a new job as a meteorologist at WTVA in Tupelo, Mississippi.
To be a new person forecasting here, I doubted what I was looking at. You know, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, I mean, this is as extreme as it can get. It's something like I'd never seen before. How do I believe that I can convince them to trust me that this kid knows what he's talking about? This could be a tornado developing. This has not been reported as a tornado on the ground. Almost every storm on the radar looked like it could be producing a tornado. It was the most overwhelmed I have ever felt.
On radar, many of the supercell storms are showing the ominous hallmark of a potentially developing tornado, a hook echo.
As we go from 2 p.m. to about 2:30, this is a half an hour here. Now look how we have clearly 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of these supercellular thunderstorms, and even the storms that haven't really developed have a little hook echo. everything has a hook echo. Every single one of them.
A hook echo is caused by precipitation and rapidly descending cold air at the rear of the storm as it wraps around the supercell's mesocyclone. It's this descending air that can drag a mesocyclone to the ground. And it's a sure sign that a tornado may be about to form. But on April 27, 2011, the deadly weather system is set to break almost all known records.
What was so different about this was we had so much of the ingredients over such a large area that it wasn't that we were going to produce one, that we would produce multiple long track tornadoes that aren't just down for a minute and done, but down for half an hour.
Within minutes of the massive Philadelphia tornado, another supercell is showing the hook echo as it fast approaches the town of Cullman, Alabama.
Gosh, goodness gracious. Let's take a look at those cloud bases. Are you kidding me? And you know,
I cannot believe we can see that far away.
We watched a rapidly, and I mean rapidly, developing thunderstorm that went from a shower to a supercell within literally 20-25 minutes.
It's down.
The tornado has formed.
Just making a beeline right toward downtown Cullman. Based on what we're seeing on the Skycam, that tornado down at the base could be 1/2 mile wide. Goodness gracious. Everybody in downtown Cullman should be in a safe place, hunkered down right now.
But Kitty Spears, owner of Cullman's Busy Bee Cafe, has decided to stay at work.
It was 3 o'clock. It was closing time. And I come to the cash register to get the money. And I just had pushed a button to open the cash register, and all of a sudden, my ears started hurting, and I was doing this number, and I just happened to look up, and I could see coming over the bridge a cloud on the ground, a big, wide, dirty cloud just coming straight at me. I didn't see a funnel. I just saw a cloud on the ground, and I could see stuff flying in the cloud. I could see debris flying. It was dirty, nasty looking. And I knew it was a tornado.
And this is coming right through the middle of downtown Cullman. And you can see the debris swirling underneath this thing. This is a tornado emergency for the city of Cullman. Goodness gracious.
We knew this was bad, and I had great fear that we would have loss of life.
Kitty Spears' son, Kyle, and his father race towards downtown Cullman, and Kyle films the aftermath. As they reach the Busy Bee Cafe, they make a shocking discovery.
It's just a whole pile of rubble. When we came around the corner, we see that the business was destroyed. There was nothing there. We just drove right up as fast as could and just parked in the middle of the road, and I ran out screaming for my mom. The whole Busy Bee was destroyed. My dad, he was running around frantically too, looking for my mother. This is the whole downtown area. He was running around lifting things up. We were both just frantic. I was yelling. He was flipping everything over to see if he could find her in the rubble. It was just absolutely obliterated. Churches tore up.
It's not just the Busy Bee Cafe that's gone. Much of downtown Cullman has been destroyed. With fewer than 2% of tornadoes rating at EF4 or higher, Cullman is desperately unlucky to be hit by one. Whole buildings have been leveled, and cars lifted off the ground by rotational winds of 175 miles an hour.
There's Eastside Baptist Church right there.
6 people have died.
See that power line down right there?
Kitty Spears is one of the lucky ones.
Some people came running up and they told us that my mom had been found in the rubble. She was in really bad pain, beat up, bloody, bruised. I was relieved that she was still alive because I thought this was going to be the day that my mom was leaving me. The roof's gone, and it just sucked the whole place out. No front, no back, no nothing.
I jumped under the counter as far as I could get, and next thing I know it, the whole building exploded, and I couldn't move. I was just trapped. I could feel everything just falling on top of me, pounding me, hitting me. I couldn't move. I just could not move from the weight of everything on top of me. And I didn't realize I was even hurt until they started digging me out. It's when I just started screaming in excruciating pain because I shattered my pelvis. The Wizard of Oz used to be one of my favorite movies when I was a child. And then I got to live it.
Our county.
At the same time as the Coleman tornado, James Spann is tracking another powerful supercell storm that is showing a clear hook echo.
So this lead storm is approaching Hackleburg.
The longest and most deadly tornado of the super outbreak is about to strike.
Everybody in Hackleburg, be in a safe place now.
Mid-afternoon on the 27th of April 2011, and a powerful supercell storm is bearing down on the town of Hackleburg, Alabama.
I was just pleading with the viewers, you've got to listen, you've got to pay attention, you've got to get shelter. You want to be in an interior part of that lowest floor. Take blankets and pillows with you if you can. Otherwise, get underneath something sturdy. If you're not in a reinforced shelter, if you're not in a well-built structure, and a tornado with 210 miles per wind is coming towards you, if you're in a mobile home, you will die.
And so this lead storm is approaching Hackleburg. Everybody in Hackleburg, be in a safe place now.
Then, meteorologists' worst fears are realized. The telltale sign of a tornado touching down, known as a debris signature, forms on radar. It confirms the supercell has now spawned a tornado, and it's heading straight for Hackleburg.
A debris signature is literally a circle that you see on radar. And at the middle of that circle is where the tornado is. And all of the debris that's being lifted off the ground is reflecting back the energy to the radar site. And so that deepest purple, that's a bunch of trees, and that's a bunch of houses and other things that are all just spinning around at more than 200 miles per hour.
The tornado rips through Hackleburg, and it shows no sign of stopping as it bears down on the neighboring town of Phil Campbell and its population of just over 1,000 people. Local police officer Gary Wayne Mays grabs a camera and begins filming the approaching tornado.
When I came out, I got here and I noticed the clouds were looking real black back that way, and kind of reminded you of watching The Wizard of Oz. You know, you're watching it and you're seeing this big swirling cloud up there.
Phil Campbell 3 to 911. I got rotation coming through Phil Campbell right now.
You saw bright white on this side and bright white on this side, and it was just black. It was just intense wind. You could hear the debris getting torn off the buildings right in front of you.
Teddy, run out. Let's get someplace safe.
This thing had a wind velocity of 200 miles per hour or greater. You can't really imagine that. Even well-engineered homes were totally taken off their foundation.
With just 0.1% of tornadoes traveling more than 100 miles, this long-track tornado stays on the ground for more than 2 hours, covering a distance of 130 miles. As it rips through a region with a high concentration of mobile homes, it's the second EF5 to hit Dixie Alley within 60 minutes.
Most tornadoes are down for 5, 10, 15 minutes, they're gone. Most tornadoes are EF0s and EF1s. This was an EF5. EF5s are excessively rare. To have two of them side by side in one day, it was simply remarkable.
You don't expect to come to work that day and have 26 people die on your shift. We found a young child that had been killed. I didn't find him, but I was there just shortly after one of the fire department gentlemen found him. And it's bad when it's an adult, but it's a little worse feeling when it's a child.
As the tornado continues to move northeast, it becomes the deadliest for half a century, as 72 people lose their lives. At the same time, a third EF5 is about to land near the town of Smithville, Mississippi. With a wave of potentially deadly supercell storms moving across the southern United States, James Spann is desperately trying to warn viewers to take shelter.
A lot of the severe weather parameters are just off the charts. Any of these storms could erupt and go severe in a heartbeat.
But there's a limit to meteorologists' ability to precisely forecast a tornado.
It is the most frustrating thing. We can see this violent rotation on radar, but we don't know if it's aloft or on the ground. We have no idea. To really for sure know if there's a tornado down, we need somebody looking at it.
And with only around 20% of supercells forming into tornadoes, this leads to another problem.
Currently have about a 75% false alarm rate with tornado warnings. For every 3 out of 4 tornado sirens that goes off, only 1 in 4 is a tornado. And rightly so, the public can sometimes get a little jaded from that.
But with so many massive supercells still raging, meteorologists at national weather offices across the region are taking no chances.
We were really pushing it hard with this event due to all the ingredients coming together for violent killer tornadoes. At that point, it's a matter of, do people have a safe place to go, and are they going to get to it?
After a day of intermittent sirens, retired truck driver Paul Estes and his family are at their local diner in Smithville, Mississippi, trying to go about their lives as normal.
Storm sirens were going off and on through the day. But we had gotten to a point where we just didn't, we got kind of complacent, so well, there goes the sirens again.
But just after 3:30 p.m., everything changes.
Well, the next thing I knew, one of the employees said, "There's a tornado on the way, shut the gas off, and y'all get in the coolers." So I jumped in the cooler and pulled the cooler door shut. This is what we hid in to get away from the tornado and get into some safety. My daughters were screaming, and I could hear my wife praying, and I grabbed the door. And that was my job, was to hold that door shut.
Just after 3:40 p.m., the third EF5 in just over 60 minutes touches down. With rotational speed in excess of 200 miles per hour, it's heading directly towards the town of Smithville. It's so powerful that it lifts a vehicle 130 feet and sends it smashing into the town's water tower.
I'd never seen a debris signature that was that compact. Within the next scan, Smithville's been hit, and that storm is already through Smithville. And then the reports start coming in from the field, and it's just, you're shell-shocked. It's absolute, utter devastation.
As the storm subsides, it's clear much of central Smithville has suffered catastrophic damage. But Paul Estes and his family have clung to life inside the diner.
When we come out of the cooler, everything was devastated. Everything was leveled. Wood, twisted metal, all the way across to my parents' home.
Paul's parents' house has been completely destroyed.
But when I got here, well, it just looked like somebody had shoved it to one side and just broke it into splinters. It was devastating. I don't know that I ever saw anything like that before. You know, I've seen pictures on TV of wars and stuff, but I've never seen anything just destroyed like that. That got me scared because I knew Mom and Daddy was in the house. And as I got here, my dad was still alive. He was blown over to the driveway. He had been covered up with a bunch of debris, but I couldn't find my mama. He said he was holding her hand and she just went up and away from him. So I couldn't hold on to her. I just stood there and cried. I mean, I had a good idea she was gone, Mama was dead, but I just stood there and cried.
In just over 60 minutes, there have now been 3 deadly EF5s across Alabama and Mississippi.
To have 3 within an hour, within the geographic distance we're talking about here, is just it's unbelievable. It's unfathomable.
Just when it seems things can't get any worse, just 100 miles from Smithville, another tornado touches down. And this one is heading straight for one of the most heavily populated towns in Alabama.
This is a large, violent tornado coming up on downtown Tuscaloosa. Be in a safe place right now.
A mile-wide, multiple vortex tornado is on track to hit the densely populated city of Tuscaloosa.
And that is a huge tornado that is moving right up on downtown Tuscaloosa. This is an extremely violent situation. Don't take any chances with this. This is as violent a situation as you'll ever see. I want everybody in the city limits of Tuscaloosa to stay sheltered.
University student and TV intern Victoria Sheehan takes shelter at the local station.
I went down into the newsroom, and I remember at one point through the chaos, I mean, we were all working on trying to answer phones and trying to keep the latest update of where was this thing. And I just remember hearing someone say, "Oh my God, there it is."
News anchor Lynn Brooks is watching from the same building.
We watched this monster form before our very eyes. And I'm watching this on the monitor, and I thought, it's coming for us. It's coming for us. I had a home video camera with me, and I'm recording this whole time. And I come out the stairwell and look out the window, and there it is. That huge monster that has come to our city.
You're seeing the rotation.
You're just drawn into this
Seeing debris.
unimaginable sight.
It's coming over the campus buildings.
Everything went black. Boom.
If you are in the city limits of Tuscaloosa or on the campus of the University of Alabama, stay sheltered. Get underground.
As the tornado approaches downtown Tuscaloosa, 25-year-old Ryan Chandler and his friend Nate decide to ignore the warnings.
I was watching James Spann on the news talking about the storms that were coming through. That's actually when I sent out a tweet to see if anybody wanted to chase a storm. And my friend Nate actually replied and said he was game. And we took off down 15th Street.
There it is.
All of a sudden, it was right on top of us.
This is a large, violent tornado coming up on downtown Tuscaloosa. Be in a safe place right now.
It was just this wall of churning clouds, bigger than anything that you can really imagine. The raw power behind it was incredible.
That thing is... Go, Chandler.
It was one of those things you were almost drawn to. I was transfixed on it.
Go back. I'm not kidding. Oh my God.
Nate definitely felt like we were too close, and that's when he became pretty emphatic that we needed to back up. We just put it in reverse and went in reverse down the wrong way on the interstate.
At 1.5 miles wide, the vast tornado rips through the city.
We're getting reports of major damage in Tuscaloosa. Look at the debris. Look at the debris. And all you can do is pray for those people.
I can't even recognize this place. That's power lines. Look at this. Oh my God.
I've never been to war, but it would be the closest thing I've seen to, or I would describe as a war zone. And houses looked like they had just been exploded or imploded. Building materials were everywhere.
As they drive through the devastation, suddenly they spot a sign of life.
Come on. Get in. Come on.
Oh my God, my dog.
Are you okay? Hey, are people okay?
I don't know.
All of a sudden, everything went from fun and games and chasing a storm to a reality that there were people that were trapped and people that were hurt and people that could be dead.
I can't call nobody. Oh my God, y'all.
A deadly multiple vortex tornado has just hit a densely populated area of Tuscaloosa. Local student Victoria Sheehan films the aftermath with no idea if her home is still standing.
There's just people walking down the main roads in Tuscaloosa. Oh, this used to be the church. We actually came over a slight hill, and you could look out and you saw University Boulevard, and it was just, it looked like a war zone. I remember there were helicopters flying over above. They were still doing search and rescue. I remember the first time realizing, like, this is my community, this is where I live. We walked and we turned, and there was so much debris. I mean, I've just never seen anything like this. But we looked out, and for a second, it looked like my apartment. Oh my God. We were all so excited. Oh my God. There's someone in it. Half of it. Oh, there's someone in there. It's bad.
No, that's the bottom.
Wow. In an instant, it comes into focus that actually I don't see anything of my apartment left. There were kids right down the street that died, and they didn't have a chance at a future. The fact that their story ends there, it's really tough because there's nothing that can be done to bring them back. And it was just one afternoon. Just one afternoon in April. And they didn't wake up that day thinking this would be the last.
It doesn't look like our city anymore. Where did it go? Where's our city? You live on the same street for 20, 30 years, and people would make the wrong turn to go to their own home because there's no more landmarks anymore.
With damage of more than $2 billion, the Tuscaloosa tornado becomes one of the most costly in U.S. history. With winds in excess of 190 miles an hour, it's rated at EF4. More than 4,000 homes are destroyed, and 65 people lose their lives.
I think we could have done much better. I think with hindsight, you know which of these storms was going to be a killer. You can hone in more on those. I would love to think with more experience that we could have said the right things. But they were going to be killers regardless.
There is no book, there is no manual, there is no class on how to handle one day with 62 tornadoes in one state. History will judge us on how we perform that day. I don't know, I have no earthly idea. But to me, it wasn't the number of EF5s, it wasn't the number of EF4s, it was the number of people that died. That's what's in my mind.
We all experienced our weakest moment. We had been brought to our knees by this. But in that moment of weakness, when all the material possessions were stripped away, and you realized you had maybe someone that you loved to still hold on to, you saw a strength in people like you would have never seen otherwise.
By the end of April 28, 2011, over 4 consecutive days, 362 tornadoes have caused damage in excess of $11 billion. 321 people have lost their lives in one of the most devastating tornado outbreaks in U.S. history.